For my brothers. 1. I dream sometimes about a house I've never seen. I mean, pretty much nobody has. Logan Caldwell claims he ding-dong ditched the place last summer break, but he's an even bigger liar than me. The truth is, you can't really see the house from the road. Just the iron teeth of the front gate and the long red lick of the drive, maybe a glimpse of limestone walls cross-hatched by honeysuckle and greenbriers. Even the historical plaque out front is half swallowed by ivy, the letters so slurred with moss and neglect that only the title is still legible. Starling House. But sometimes, in the early dark of winter, you can see a single lit window shining through the sycamores. It's a funny kind of light, a rich amber that shudders with the wind, nothing like the drone of a streetlight or the sickly blue of a fluorescent. Footnote. According to Lyle Reynolds, the Gravely Power Meter man from 1987 to 2017, Starling House was never connected to the electric grid or the municipal water system. The telephone company sued for the right to place poles on Starling land in 1947, but the project was abandoned after a series of ugly accidents that left 3 employees hospitalized. I figure that window is the only light I've ever seen that doesn't come from the coal plant on the riverbank. In my dream, the light is for me. I follow it through the gates, up the drive, across the threshold. I should be scared. There are stories about Starling House, the kind people only tell at night, half whispered under the hum of the porch light. But in the dream, I don't hesitate. In the dream, I'm home. Apparently, that's too far-fetched even for my subconscious, because that's usually when I wake up. I surface in the half-dark of the motel room with a hungry, empty ache in my chest that I think must be homesickness. Although, I guess I wouldn't know. I stare at the ceiling until the parking lot lights flick off at dawn. I used to think they meant something, those dreams. They started abruptly when I was 12 or 13, just when all the characters in my book started manifesting magic powers or receiving coded messages or whatever. Of course I was obsessed with them. I asked everybody in town about the Starling place, but received only narrow, slantwise looks and sucked teeth. People in this town had never liked me much. Their eyes slide right off me like I'm a street corner panhandler or a piece of roadkill, a problem they would be obliged to address if they looked straight at it. But they liked the Starlings even less. They are considered eccentrics and misanthropes, a family of dubious origin that has refused for generations to participate in the most basic elements of Eden's civil society. Church, public school, bake sales for the volunteer fire department, choosing instead to stay holed up in that grand house that nobody except the coroner has ever seen in person. They have money, which generally excuses everything short of homicide, but it doesn't come from either coal or tobacco, and nobody seems able to marry into it. The Starling family tree is a maddening sprawl of grafted limbs and new shoots, full of out-of-towners and strangers who turned up at the front gates and claimed the Starling name without ever setting foot in Eden itself. It's generally hoped that both they and their house will fall into a sinkhole and rot at the bottom, neither mourned nor remembered, and, perhaps, release the town from its century-long curse. I don't believe in curses, but if there was such a thing as an accursed town, it would look an awful lot like Eden, Kentucky. It used to be the #1 coal county in the nation, but now it's just a strip-mined stretch of riverbank containing a power plant, a fly ash pond, and $2 generals. It's the kind of place where the only people who stay are the ones who can't afford to leave, where the water tastes like rust and the mist rises cold off the river even in the summertime, lingering in the low places well past noon. Since nobody would tell me the story of Starling House, I made up my own. There isn't a lot to do in a town like Eden, and I didn't have many friends